Mr. Bakar. Mr. Bakar Naqvi is the founder and CEO of Upriver E-commerce. He has been in this industry for more than 20 years in the e-commerce and the consumer product segment. He is known for his expertise in retail strategy, e-commerce acceleration, and brand development. He is currently driving many D2C brand sales, because of his various innovative AI tools. Mr. Bakar, please. Right. Our second panelist for today is Mr. Dhairyashil Patil. He is currently the National President of All India Consumer Product Distribution Federation. He has more than 15 years of experience in retail and FMCG sector. He plays an important role in communication between government and association in various issues. Right. And our third panelist for today is Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal. He is the co-founder of Skin in the Game Brand Solutions. He has more than 35 years of executive experience in the retail and e-commerce sectors. He has been the CEO of Pantaloons and Big Bazaar in the past. He started Skechers in India in 2012. He's now leveraging his vast experience to mentor startups and also invest into new ventures. Right. Yeah. So we'll quickly begin this panel, and before that, I would like to get some perspective in terms of how quick commerce is doing in India and what are the various parameters that we're going to track today in this panel. The quick commerce market, as you all know, has just taken off in India about 2 years back. It's grown at about 156% CAGR over the last 2 years. The market size is about $5 billion as on CY24. India's e-commerce market is about $140–150 billion size today. And I think as per our assessment and analysis that we've done, 50 to 60% of India's e-commerce market can be a potential TAM for the quick commerce business. And this is obviously because of various categories: FMCG, apparel, grocery, staples, and the beauty, personal care, everything put together. 75% of quick commerce based dark stores today are located in the top 8 metro cities. FMCG grocery drives close to 80 to 90% of GOV for the quick commerce business. FMCG companies and Kirana stores have already started to see a mild negative impact due to increased offtake within the quick commerce segment. Quick commerce accounts for 2% of India's internet users. This is very small as compared to 28% of internet users which are present for online shopping. So there's ample opportunity for quick commerce to penetrate deep further. And this has led to e-commerce players pouring into this space in the recent past. So today we're going to discuss implications of quick commerce on various distribution channels with our esteemed set of panelists. And I'd like to welcome all of them. So I'll start off this session, by highlighting some trends on digital. And since we have Mr. Bakar, who is kind of advising many D2C brands today. Hello. Yeah. So since we've got Mr. Bakar today, he is advising many D2C brands today in terms of going online, going quick commerce, trying to drive sales for them through advertising, through AI, everything put together. If you can just share a brief perspective in terms of how this journey has been for brands, especially D2C brands, from going from e-commerce to quick commerce, how different it is, how easy it is for them.
So, firstly, I think as you rightly said, the entire channel evolved post-COVID. So, up till 2019-20, the entire FMCG, FNG sale put together on, so to say, quick commerce channels until that point of time was about $250–300 million. Today, as per our estimates, quick commerce does about $6–7 billion this year. So the growth has been very, very rapid. Also, the growth has really been in the first wave more FNG and FMCG driven. It's only now that other categories are wanting to be on the channel. So if you look at the typical D2C brands, obviously for them in the FMCG space, this was a channel that they wanted to be on. But FMCG, the typical quick commerce channel grew on the back of known brands. So because quick commerce is a channel which is not a browsing channel. It's so you want a Harvest Gold bread or you want Ashirwad Atta, you type it and you get it. So there are more branded searches as compared to generic category level searches on an Amazon or a Flipkart. So the entire category grew because of it last minute purchase, and you knew what you wanted to buy, and hence you purchased. It is only now that the channel is wanting to expand both from the channel side as well as from the D2C sides, where brands are wanting to onboard the channel, that now this new influx of D2C brands on the channel is happening. So I think it's a new phenomenon. Both sides are trying to evaluate what's on the offer. So on one side, D2C brands are trying to see how they can leverage the channel, what are the cost of channels, how their unit economics fits in. On the other side, the channels are wanting to see whether consumers are willing to take these products. For example, Blinkit launched Fab India kurtas last year, but I think it was a very tactical short-term phenomena, because after about a month and a half, as an analyst, I was looking at it because I'm interested. There was hardly any kurta available on product after the Diwali season was gone. So people are not going on a Blinkit or a Zepto still to buy a kurta or those kind of products. Yes, there are last minute requirements for everything, and people will have certain requirement which they want to buy in a limited assortment. But wherever there's a browsing requirement, I don't think the channel is yet ready for that. So many, I mean, it will for some time remain more a deep FMCG, FNG kind of channel, yet it's trying to go on the other side.
And also, in terms of the brands that you've engaged with, we'd like to get some feedback specifically here, that which are the categories, which have seen strong offtake, or, basically will scale up in the quick commerce platform.
So FNG and FMCG, obviously, beauty and personal care. It's a big category today on quick commerce. Health and nutraceuticals. So lots of these gummies and those kind of nutraceutical brands are doing very well. Pet care, things that you want to buy instantly, pet food, multiple other products. Many of the quick commerce players are now looking at pharma, because again, that's a category that you want to buy. So some of these categories are doing well. Also, base products in multiple other categories. For example, today morning I came from Delhi and I did not get my charger, and I was just thinking from the airport to the hotel, where do I buy a charger? Then I got Blinkit, पे देखता हूँ, Blinkit at 55 kind of chargers. So instead of doing anything and searching for a store, the moment I landed in the hotel, I did a Blinkit and it was there in 10 minutes. So I think most of these, but if you start selling a iPhone, it's a tactical thing that iPhone is being launched, there's a lot of line, but things like chargers, cables, basic things will continue to sell.
Right. Dereshji, moving on to you, there is a lot being talked about the impact as their profitability, their turnovers. Stores have been shut down. There have been multiple media reports floating on basis that as well. What is the on-ground situation right now? How difficult it is, for a Kirana store right now to return back to the sales of what they were doing? Or do you see a situation wherein things can worsen up from here?
Yeah, thank you, Karan. And good afternoon, everybody. See, let me put some things right. Okay. Are there challenges? Yes, there are challenges. But are we anywhere lower or lesser than any quick commerce? I don't think so, because we are servicing around about 1.3 million outlets around the country. And already there are, say, about 10% of the outlets which are doing home deliveries, like cities like Bombay. Most of the retailers are doing home deliveries, may not be in 10 minutes or so. And if this aggregated across the country, would be at least 10x what the entire quick commerce is doing per se. The retail trade is not facing as a challenge, because as Bhagji said rightly, that it is a last minute thing. So every time for your monthly grocery cannot be a last minute thing. Still, our Indian population believes in shopping out, shopping online. We have seen a lot many tsunamis into this entire general trade segment, where we had modern trade coming in, we had EB2Bs and B2Bs coming in, and this is the third thing, which is quick commerce coming. The only issue we have with this quick commerce is the predatory pricing and deep discounting, because none of the products bought online are without discount. So as far as the Indian mentality is concerned, nobody buys anything without a discount. So it is not just for the sake of buying it. So people think, search. Yes, there can be examples of last minute, like he had to buy a charger or you have to buy something. There the price does not matter, because if he does not have the charger for the day, he's off for the day. So convenience, yes, convenience is there, but at what cost? That is also a question.
Got it. Sanjeev, you've been a part of the modern trade in the past. We've seen how Big Bazaar started discounting era, and then came other modern trade players. It's nothing new. I mean, we've seen disruption at every launch of a new channel. As far as FMCG is concerned. How do you see the situation for the modern trade players now? So, players like DMart, maybe Reliance Retail, even, the likes of, Big Bazaar also. But what is the real impact of quick commerce for these players? Are they going to scale down? Are they going to move digital? Do they have the capabilities to, kind of move digital in terms of technology or in terms of assortment?
So, good afternoon, everybody. I think the numbers of the listed companies, and there are enough listed companies around, are there to see. Let's say DMart. I mean, we know how the stock has fallen over the last 1 year because the growth is not coming. I mean, it was the darling of the stock market, but it's fallen over 30% in last 1 year. And this is not about the whole issue of saying that the market is coming down. Market hasn't come down that much. The reason why I'm talking about it is because you can see the numbers. They are having single digit growth. Now, when you have single digit growth, they don't put out the same store growth, by the way. So this same store growth is probably zero or negative. उसमें भी आप inflation अगर लगा लीजिए तो so really the volume growth is negative. Now, in any case, we know that we are currently facing a consumption issue in the country per se. So if you have a situation where your growth is volume growth is zero or negative, it clearly is because of external factors and not just internal factors. And I mean, when you look at large cities like metros like Bombay, you know what is the situation of the roads. There's no place to move around. The whole city is dug up, and it takes enormous amount of time to go from one place to another. So, for example, I live in Lokhandwala. There's a DMart nearby, but it'll take at least 5-7 minutes to go. If I don't have a driver, I'll take 5 minutes to park and then go down to the basement and all that. So the whole trip will cost have at least half an hour on me. So if I'm going, like he said, if I'm going to go for a monthly purchase, then it's fine. But if you want only top up one toothpaste, one toothbrush kind of a thing, what will I do? I'll use, or my wife will use the quick commerce app, order, and it is there. Of course, what I was saying to him was that the Kirana guys, like he said, in Bombay specifically, they deliver at home, which is great. The point is that they use WhatsApp for marketing tools? Maybe they no need to. But let's just go back to the modern trade. Modern trade is under stress. I mean, there have been a lot of LinkedIn articles and discussion that DMart customer is of a certain type and they are looking for value. And actually, unlike what he mentioned, Mr. Patil said, the discounting on for like-to-like products, the discounting on quick commerce is lower than in DMart. DMart has higher discounting.
But so just strategically, can this impact worsen from here for modern trade players? I mean, strategically, can the impact of quick commerce worsen for the modern trade players? Is that a
that's what I'm saying. How is the sales growth not happening? And this data is available for everybody to see, no?
Can I add something here? So I think we all get entrapped by the conveniences we get used to. 30 years back, there was kids who used to go to schools without AC. We all went to schools where there was hardly any AC and whatever. Today every school has an AC. अब वही आप वापस जाओ, आपको लगेगा ये कहाँ पे आ गए. वैसे ही ये क्विक कॉमर्स की कन्वीनियंस जो है ना, दिस इज एन एंट्रैपिंग कन्वीनियंस. आज जो कन्वीनियंस आपको यूज में आ गई, अब वो आप वापस नहीं जाना चाहते, एंड दैट इज द इशू. Generationally also trends are changing. So my metaphorically, my parents' generation used to have a list at the beginning of the month. They used to go have a big shopping thing done once for a month, and then they hardly कुछ चाहिए हो तो किराने के शॉप से ले आए. In our case, we used to shop once in like twice a month, thrice a month. But going forward, I see that this practice of shopping in big lists is going down. The next generation is not shopping those big lists. They are shopping last minute. और क्यों नहीं करें? क्योंकि एक दिमाग से हमारे एक वो हट गई कि आज हमको महीने की शॉपिंग करनी है, अब जो चाहिए आप 5 मिनट में मंगा लेते हो. तो दिस आइडिया ऑफ मंथली शॉपिंग इज आल्सो गोइंग. सो गोइंग बैक टू मॉडर्न ट्रेड, दिस विल इम्पैक्ट बिकॉज नाउ पीपल आर नॉट शॉपिंग दोज लार्ज लिस्ट स्पेंडिंग 10,000 rupees in one go. They are rather shopping last minute in smaller values. And then obviously घर भी छोटे हो गए, उसको स्टोरेज भी कम करनी है, तो क्यों हमको 20 किलो का आटा खरीदना है? 2 किलो खरीदो, अगले 3 दिन के बाद फिर ले आओ गया. So the shopping habits are also changing, and that is also impacting how we are looking at conveniences and how we are looking at shopping from the large supermarkets. So I think one of the other factors that DMarts and the big bazaars of the world would face is that now shopping is no longer a large shopping list kind of a shopping anymore.
Got it. And
Sir,
yeah,
I would differ from this because we have already seen Big Basket been operational for monthly shopping since at least 8 to 10 years right from
Correct.
now, and we had also
e-commerce,
Grofar.
Amazon is active as well. Flipkart
Yeah,
has been active
yeah,
as well.
yeah. So saying that by quick commerce, the entire shopping habit of the generations is changing, I bit disagree with it, because see, technology is always going to come. So the person who invented refrigerator was with some other intention, because that time food was not being kept, because our generations used to believe that fresher the food is more greater than. Then the storing thing came upon, and then the refrigerator was made. Now the quick commerce is telling people, as Bakar sir said, that people will shop right now. See, the generations which are coming, 60 to 65% of our country's population is shopping weekly. 15 to 20% of our population is shopping monthly. The rest of the जो population है वही है जो it comes and goes like this. So quick commerce is always going to be the last minute time thing. It is never going to end up into a monthly grocery
So
store.
as per you, the wallet share will be somewhere limited as far as
Yes,
quick commerce.
absolutely.
So I just want to add here, see, being from large format retail, 2 years back when this whole thing came up, a lot of us were very, very skeptic. Ki, who wants stuff in
Exactly.
5 minutes?
People didn't trust the model, didn't trust the economics.
Yeah, so see, economics में मैं नहीं जा रहा हूँ. I'm just saying कि 5 मिनट में किसको चाहिए?
Correct.
Abhi, how many, and each one of us can you raise your hands? How many of you all shop on quick commerce, or you or your families? Okay.
And out of this, how many of you shop monthly?
No, once again. How so? Probably 80% of you are saying we shop on quick commerce. Now the point is that we should not put all the consumers in one basket or one type. There are different consumers. Like I was saying earlier, DMart consumer is a value conscious consumer. Doesn't mean that 100% of the DMart consumers are value conscious. Now India is a large market. Even if you get 5-7% off from the market, the business is going to be significant. In some pockets, in crowded pockets where delivery is going to be easier, the wallet share may be higher. Obviously, quick commerce is not going to go to rural areas or tier 4, tier 3. But again, I keep seeing on various social media platforms that they are opening in all kinds of places, dark stores.
That was my next question. In fact, non-metro is like a huge untapped opportunity. And if you look at the non-metro markets, I think 50% of Kirana stores, 60% rather are non-metros,
55.
right? Yes. For even someone like a DMart, if 60% of the sales are coming from non-metro, right? So let's say if they scale up beyond these 8, 10, 12 cities,
So it will be
how is
difficult.
the behavior going
It
to
will be difficult to scale higher. But the point is that when we look at Bombay, the Kirana guy in Bombay, he's not going to go to Nasik to open a store, no? उसको तो बॉम्बे में अपनी रोजी रोटी चलानी है, तो उसका तो रोजी रोटी इम्पैक्ट
And why
होगा.
do you say QCom cannot scale up in the non-metro
See,
market?
Well, because one, the scalability. See, modern trade also took long time to go to Nasik, Solapur kind of places, no?
So what is the model that they cracked? I mean, in your Big Bazaar days, what was it that modern trade cracked to do well in non-metro markets?
The basic difference is the vertical population and the horizontal population.
Okay.
Mumbai has a vertical population. So servicing a vertical population is much more easier, cost effective and aggregate. Serving a vertical horizontal population will be difficult.
It's complicated.
Because the travel time, travel distance and the average purchase value is also going to be lower, because as it is in metros and as it is in tier 2, tier 3 cities. दोनों जगह में आप देखेंगे तो that will be more difficult. Expenses will go. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर थोड़ा कम मिलेगा. बॉम्बे में जो आज आपको रेंट मिल रहा है उससे कम आधे में रेंट वहां पे मिलेगा, लेकिन जो बॉम्बे का एवरेज ट्रैवल टाइम फॉर ऑर्डर है वो 2 गुना या 3 गुना बढ़ेगा.
Okay, I want to get a perspective from Kirana and modern trade. Okay, let's say that quick commerce companies in the next 6 months to a year stop discounting. You are getting the same product at the price of Kirana store. Even then, quick commerce will grow at a fast pace. If you can start off, Sanjeev,
yes,
you can
of
start
course.
off.
I don't think so.
Of course,
Yeah.
no question about it. See, the point is the convenience. Like Bakar said, the convenience is a very important thing, and this is contagious. Abhi, like I was telling you, my 70, and this is just a personal example, my 75-year-old mother-in-law and my 25-year-old son, they both use quick commerce. So the range of the population that is using the app is very large. And of course, like Bakar said, his 14-year-old daughter uses it. So 14 to maybe 80-year-old people are using it.
Ji, what's your take on this? If Kirana stores and quick commerce platforms sell the product at the same price,
See, the money which is being made available to this quick commerce is all on the growth trajectory they are showing. So if they are to be at par with the general trade, they won't be able to show this kind of trajectory, because the attraction for all the quick commerce sales is discount. Right now, convenience, yes, convenience is there.
But they'll have to get customers, they'll have to give discounts,
Yeah.
they have to.
So all put and done, their per consumer attraction cost is much more higher right now, because they are spending a lot of money on that. The transportation cost for per order value, their average order is just 400 to 500 rupees. In case of DMart is at least more than 2000 rupees, I guess.
Unlikely. I don't know the latest, yeah.
So to reach to that thing, if it is going to be at par, I really doubt whether they would be able to give such kind of results. And if it is not lucrative for the investors, then the free money which is coming in will not be there. So,
and just one last thing from both of you again, when do you see the discount cycle ease off? Okay, so I mean, you would have seen modern trade, right? Kirana saw when modern trade came, they gave you discount.
Discount cycle is not going to go away. Please understand, today, in every single industry, the MRPs are inflated. Do you know what is the COGS to MRP in FMCG? Can you all guess what is the MRP? I mean, you all should be knowing. What is the MRPs to, sorry, COGS to MRP ratio? FMCG में कितना चल रहा है?
3x.
Huh?
30%.
3x? 3x is conservative. New age brands are running at 4+.
Yeah.
Abhi, when I was in FMCG, and I've spent many years in FMCG, I was last vice president marketing at Balsara, the company which got sold to Dabur. At that point in time, it used to be 3x. When you're saying 3x, 3x is incorrect. Today, the norm is 4x. So that is the difference. Some of the new age brands are working on 5x. They are actually saying that in DMart or Reliance, I will be selling at buy one get one free permanently. तो वो pricing ही वैसे कर रहे हैं. When let's take apparel. Apparel में क्या है? 4x तो आराम से हो रहा है. Shoes 4x आराम से हो रहा है.
That's why
जब
discounting
pricing
is.
in MRP inflated है तो discounting तो normal है.
So you're saying discounting is a normal, it will sustain
Oh yes.
even after quick commerce scales up to a respectable level. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the discounting is getting funded by the brand.
There is a
I'll come to
regulation in
Bakar
place.
also. One more thing. Bakar,
Regulation cannot come.
you deal with D2C brands who are of this type, who have an MRP and high margins, and, they, going to deep discounting. What is your feedback there? I mean, what are these brands looking? I mean, will the discounting continue from their end?
So, I mean, let me step back and answer the question that was being answered by Dhanishil ji and Sanjeev sir. Firstly, I think the premise of the question itself is wrong. I don't think there is any discounting beyond a certain level on the quick commerce platforms. Quick commerce platforms are not selling discounts, they're selling convenience. Most of the products that you will find on a Blinkit or Zepto, and I don't stand off them for them in any case, are on MRPs with minimal discounts.
Yeah, with single digit discount.
बहुत छोटे discounts.
But they have increased in the recent past because of some price wars with Zepto, whatever it is.
वो हर पे होते रहेंगे. Those are market cycles. They are not
Correct.
norms. Coming back to what Sanjeev sir is saying, I have been in consumer in retail for 25 years. पहले हम जब business बनाते थे, P&Ls बनाते थे, तो हम बहुत 20 साल पहले 4%, 5% markdowns budget करते थे. फिर 10 साल पहले वो 10-12% हुए. आज a category like apparel would budget in at least 30 to 40% markdowns in its price.
Yeah, MRP to net selling price.
तो मैंने तो full price पे कपड़े ही खरीदना छोड़ दिए हैं. भाई मुझे पता है 40% तो वैसे ही markup है. तो ये discount के बाद ही सही price है. तो वो prices तो because of excessive markdowns, prices have inflated. So the post discount price is the actual price. Secondly, if you look at modern trade, the erstwhile Big Bazaar or DMart of today or whatever, the discounting is much more deep than a Blinkit or a Zepto of today.
Yes.
So the first premise that quick commerce is selling on discount is itself wrong. वो आपको किराना पे भी आप जाओगे वो भी अपना डिस्काउंट दे देता है. आज किराना के स्टोर पे जाओ उससे कोई पूछो भैया डिस्काउंट मिलेगा कुछ, वो भी आपको 5%.
I'll come to Dhanishil ji. I think I heard that some kirana stores are offering steep discounts, not but 10-15% discount to compete with QCom. Okay, now what is the offtake there? Have they seen positive offtake in sales because of discounts? The question is to you. See, on those outlets.
What is मतलब ये ऐसा देख रहे हैं तो हम लोगों का स्टडी जो दिखा रहा है, we are seeing in fact one of the QComs promo, I mean
QCom is discounting more than kirana, but
QCom आपके क्या बोलते हैं उसको, owner said that my average earning is 20%, okay, and my average discount is 20%. So 20% तो margin retailer का है नहीं. His margin is 8% to 12%.
Correct.
So he cannot compete with whatever thing is it on discounts with these people. See, he is competing on lot of other things: service, relationship, operations, quality. So वो जो सदियों से चले आ रहा है, he is banking on that. So in you saying this कि discount दे रहे हैं, I hardly believe कि उनके पास में है ही नहीं उतना पैसे कि वो discount इनके साथ में सामने offer कर सके.
And one more perspective just from you again, just so sorry from you, Dhanishil ji. You have seen how modern trade came, Kirana still have put a lion's share. FMCG still 75-80% of sales comes from Kiranas, right? So you think this QCom is just a trend for the next 3-4 years, and after that it will also stabilize just like modern trade coming to 8-10% share, and then Kirana will remain the king? What is your view on this on a long-term perspective?
See, modern trade was playing entirely a different game because I don't know whether it would be appropriate to say that they were colluding with the companies and mopping up the MRPs per gram price and then offering discounts. We had released a video somewhere 2 years or down the line where a per gram price for the smaller packet is very, very lesser than the per gram price for a larger packet.
Right.
For example, if a soap or a detergent soap, 1 gram is 1 rupee So by the law of economics, 1000 grams should be 1000 rupees. But in e-commerce, I mean in the modern trade, it was 1000 grams for 1500 rupees. So it was 1.5x. So after that, which we realized and we were constantly fighting, we went to the government. Now there is a law in place where you have to mention per gram price on every packet.
So that there is no manipulation.
So there is no manipulation right now. So now the differences between the gram available in the smaller packets and gram available in the larger packets is almost the same. Difference then was 200%, 300%. Now it is hardly 4-5% right now.
But tell me something.
One second. I'm sorry. I strongly differ. Large formats never discounted small packs.
Most the brands actually give sachets.
That was not because of modern trade. That started from general trade.
Exactly. Sachets
Yeah.
is
a
came in because of
is
the
a
low
general
economics.
trade phenomena,
let's-
not a modern trade phenomena. That's point number one. Point number two, why modern trade will never discount small packs? Because they want to increase the basket size. Therefore, they will always discount the larger packs. So with due respect, I strongly disagree with Mr. Patil.
That is what exactly I was saying. That modern trade used to sell larger packs with 1.5x of price for the same product as the smaller packs. The smaller
No,
packs were available
no.
in the general trade and the larger packs were available in the modern trade.
No, so that you can push, but what I'm saying is
That is
that
already
the
now
modern
corrected.
trade was discounting larger packs.
Yes.
But anyway, that is a separate
That's a
point.
value
Yeah.
add offering. Okay. Now coming to the big question here. You would have seen this cycle, as I said, since so many years, Arishil ji. Do you think QCOM can become more than 8-10% market share of FMCG in the next 5 years? Or do you think they can go to 20%? That is the big question.
Absolutely not.
No,
Because
okay, so
after even 35 years of GATT in 1991, when Walmarts and all these people have come, this entire formats were struggling to cross at least single digit sales of
because
7 to
metros
8%.
show that data. So metros for some FMCG categories do show that 25% of their sales are coming from QCOM products, selective metros and selective pockets. So why can't this become
Sir,
big?
quick commerce as per now for the entire FMCG trade is not even 0.7.
That's fine. I agree on that. But the only point is some metros, some categories do show data of more than 20% sales also.
See,
it
I
could be
think
selective, it could be biased.
the biggest challenge is that when we look at data in a single large unit, that's a mistake. I mean, in most categories, 50% of the country's sales is rural. So 50 में तो Q-commerce zero होने वाला है.
So if QCOM doesn't go to non-metro, they will never
once
scale.
again, I'm not saying non-metro. I said rural. What is rural? Rural is 5,000 and below population. तो वो तो 50% आप पहले ही निकाल दीजिए. उसके बाद tier 4 निकाल दीजिए. So when you leave metro plus tier 1, then that's like 20% of the consumption basket. Now again, as I said, जो बॉम्बे का kirana wala hai, he is not going to go to Solapur and open a store. No, we have to talk different pockets differently. So the metros, and then the other thing is that this whole thing, like Bakar also mentioned, कि जो D2C brands हैं, उनको क्या easy है? Can they go to 1 million stores in the country, or even 100,000 stores, 10,000 stores in the country, 5,000 stores? No, very difficult. Wise people like us in the skin in the game are helping them to do that. It is not easy. What is easy for them? To either sell on e-commerce or to sell on quick commerce. So the new age brands will continue to thrive, and they will continue to support the Q-commerce ecosystem with higher margins. Parle G आपको कितना margin देगा versus let's say a cookie brand.
So my
A cookie brand may give you 30%. Parle G won't give you more than 15.
The next big question was, will FMCG companies see margin pressure because of rapid adoption in quick commerce? You can share some insights here. How happy or sad are D2C brands paying 40-45% take rates you can list on quick commerce platforms? Some broad feedback over there.
See, happy or sad is a state of the mind. It's nothing to do with your business.
No, I mean, will they continue this? I mean,
No, let me answer this thing. You look at it from two perspectives. One is that is a 60% margin. So आज Q-commerce platform generally they take anywhere between 10-15% from very established brands to 40% from new age brands. Plus they are now अभी एक नया business चालू कर दिया because they were not making unit economics money on each delivery or very little money. Now they have started each Q-commerce platform has started a advertising revenue stream. Now they are pushing brands. तो पहले तो एक कंज्यूमर को चाहिए केलॉग्स का ये चाहिए आशीर्वाद का आटा चाहिए तो वो सारी ब्रांड्स आ गए बट वो ब्रांड्स तो आपको उतना ही मार्जिन देते हैं उसमें तो यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स बैठेगी नहीं तो अब नए न्यू एज ब्रांड्स आ रहे हैं न्यू वो ब्रांड्स बिकॉज जनरल ट्रेड को भी और मॉडर्न ट्रेड को भी वो 12-18% जितना भी दे रहे हैं वो दे रहे हैं वही यहाँ पे भी दे रहे हैं सो आप उसमें भी आर्बिट्राज नहीं कर सकते तो अब जब नए ब्रांड्स आए वहां पे 40% मांग लिया 40% के बाद 20% एड बजट मांग लिया तो 60-65% तो एक D2C ब्रांड ने आज दे दिया वो बचेगा क्या खाएगा क्या
is the model sustainable basically?
So it is not sustainable for the new age D2C brands yet. Look at it from the other perspective. आज मैं एक ब्रांड लॉन्च करूं और मुझे उसको कहीं भी बेचना है look at the level of difficulty I will have to go even to go to GT MT में आप listing fee से लेके न जाने क्या क्या मांग लेते हो so even to get on the shelf
just to remind you have to put a promoter.
Yes, so you have to put at if you go to a store I'm from Delhi so I'm citing Delhi stores so if you go to a Le Marche first he will ask you 3-4 lakh rupees per store to list it then you have to put a brand promoter वो 20,000 रुपए वो उस प्रमोटर खड़ा हुआ है
और गंडोला के पैसे ले लेंगे
सब चीजों के पैसे लेंगे तो टोटल कॉस्ट जो है वो एक्सॉर्बिटेंट है इवन टू गेट टू अ सिंगल स्टोर ये तो अभी एमटी की बात है अब आप जीटी में जाओ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर आपका माल ही नहीं लेगा वो कहेगा भाई आप कौन
सेल और रिटर्न बेसिस पे लेगा
वो लेगा भी तो माल रख के दुकान में नहीं बेच पाएगा यहाँ पे ब्रांड्स आर गेटिंग अ चैनल टू गो टू द कंज्यूमर विदाउट एनी ऑफ दिस इफ आई मे कॉल
इंटरमीडियरी
हाँ ये जो the channel economics से वो हट गया तो that is why I was saying it's a right or wrong happiness or sadness is state of the mind अब आप ये देखो कि उसको पहले तो वो बेच ही नहीं सकता था आज वो 60% में बेच रहा है इस उम्मीद के साथ कि जिस दिन वो भी एक ब्रांड बन जाएगा उसकी भी रिकॉल रिकॉग्निशन होगी ब्रांडेड सर्च होगी उस दिन वो अपने 40% को भी 20% करा लेगा और ये जो 20-25% 30% मार्केटिंग एफर्ट जा रहा है ये 5% पे आ जाएगा उस दिन उसकी यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स बैठेगी तो I think it may not be viable today, but every D2C player who is going and standing in queue in front of the Q-commerce player कि मुझे भी on board कर लो सर is not a fool. उसको भी लग रहा है भाई आज नहीं तो कल पैसे बनाएंगे. Otherwise, what else option does he have? Many of these brands are not even suitable for a GT. आप एक, for example, I work with a sexual wellness brand which is sells on Blinkit. तो अब वो जाके GT में तो ना बेच पाएगी, वो बेच ही नहीं सकती. बहुत सारी D2C brands ऐसी हैं by design, by whatever else, they are not a GT brand, they are not a general trade economics brand, they have to be in some of these channels. And even if you are an FMCG brand, you are a biscuits brand, a cookies brand, a staples brand, for you to penetrate the D2C, the quick commerce channels, even though it is very difficult, is far easier as compared to GT or MT.
I just have two more things to address in this panel. Dereshji, first to you, coming back on this question of, are you more worried today because of quick commerce, or because in modern trade came, they also give discounts, value packs, so on and so forth? Because, you know, you see the desperation, you know, going to CCI, MSP, discounting cap karo, all these, you know, things which are there. So are you more worried today, or you know, this is going to settle down just like modern trade, and you like, okay, what is your view on that?
See, modern trade was much a physical investment model. Here, as he rightly said, that there is absolutely no physical investment required for this thing apart from the dark stores and what they are making. See, our worry is not about the competition. See, there are millions and millions of brands which are large, smaller in size, regional brands, local brands. You'll find at least 200 brands of masala in every 500-kilometer basket. you'll find cookies, you'll find home cleaning products, everything is there. So much bigger companies are also worried with all these small companies coming in. So it is not that only quick commerce or e-commerce promotes this B2C brands. Yes, it might be cheaper and it might be harder to go into general trade, but unless and until the brand carries quality and penetration value and the value for money, general trade does not accept any such kind of non-competitive or non-quality brands. See, in quick commerce,
Because see, e-commerce was also there since so many years, but you never went overboard on things.
see,
But
quick
why with quick commerce? Because do you also feel that it's a big threat?
e-commerce for us was only what 2%, 2.5% COVID. It was 1.4%. Quick commerce,
It has taken you by shock. The growth of quick commerce has taken you by shock.
absolutely, and the basic reason is that they are 95% into our domain.
Correct.
E-commerce was only 1.22% in our domain. These people are 95% into our domain. That is the point of worry for us. Are they going to be successful? That is time will answer. But we believe, as per the Indian traditional trade, we are into an operational profit business. As far as quick commerce or this e-commerce are considered, they are into a transactional loss of business. So each and every transaction is getting them a loss. So I really don't see the way where can be an operational profitability.
Yeah, they have economics and ad revenue platform. Those are different things that can come by anybody. That time will tell. But sir, to you, just one last thing on the modern trade side, can the likes of DMart Ready, JioMart 30-minute delivery, can these things be disruptive in this era of quick commerce? Or you think that DNA, people, technology is the challenge, and जो modern trade वाला है वो ये सब कभी नहीं कर पाए?
देखिए, DNA will always be the biggest challenge, because what let's say Blinkit can do, there is no reason why DMart cannot do. It's all about the mindset. DMart Ready was there much before the quick commerce.
Correct.
I think somewhere the management team, with all due respect to the management team, probably was lethargic about it. No.
But now with the changes, you think
Once again, Big Basket also, for the longest time, they were regular delivery. Big Basket now is scaling them up, probably because there's a pressure from the Tata Group to say that it needs to be scaled up. So everything is doable. Today, technology is not the barrier. There may be time which may be required to set up and scale your technology platform, but technology is not a barrier anymore.
Got it. Yes. And you know, the question to you, the big one, e-commerce entry into quick commerce. You know, these brands, D2C brands, whichever categories you've dealt with, they would have dealt with e-commerce platforms also. You would have got them listed, driven sales for them, advertisement for them. So does e-commerce have the DNA to match up to quick commerce and really scale up? I'm not saying coexist. Coexisting is fine, but can they scale up to the likes of Blinkit? So view on that. Okay.
So mixed response. I don't have an answer, but I think the Blinkits and Zeptos would face a lot of competition from the Amazons and Flipkarts of the world, primarily because of 2-3 critical reasons. One is most of the categories these chaps have already been selling. Amazon has already been toying with fresh and pantry and all that for quite a long time. They have had limited success, but now they are wanting to invest big time into the just-in-time or quick time deliveries.
Days
And Flipkart supermarkets. Minutes. So also given the level of data that Amazon and Flipkart have, I think it would be far easier for them to understand which markets to operate and how to operate and start challenging the quick commerce players very, very fast. So I think it's, and that pressure is good because I see a lot of lag in multiple operational issues with the quick commerce players. So once they are also challenged by other players, the overall economics and efficiencies of the business will surely improve.
Great. So I think largely addressed most of the topics. We just have two or three questions from the audience. Anyone who has a question, you can just raise your hand and we can send the mics around. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is on, a couple of things. One is you mentioned that there's a lot of these quick commerce guys are taking very high take rate from the D2C brands, and that's not sustainable. It will reverse somewhere down the road. So on the flip side, then what happens to the quick commerce profitability just on that element? But a larger question is, if you can answer it together, is, what kind of levers eventually quick commerce, companies will have to run a profitable business. You talked about ad revenues, or you talked about, convenience fee, how much discounting they can get from the brands, right? What happens. So if you can just touch upon these levers and, explain to us whether there is a long-term profitable, sustainable path for these companies.
So multiple things that I can see. One is that if you look at how modern trade grew, one of the critical levers was private labels. So आज DMart पे भी जाओ, large part of what they sell is private label product. So all Q-commerce players will also have private label products, and they're already started. Every Q-commerce place has its private labels. Two, at the end, consumers will pay for this convenience. Even today, पहले Blinkit free deliveries करता था, आज 500 रुपए आपको हर बार आपको ब्रेड अंडे भी खरीदने हैं तो आप 15 रुपए बचाने के चक्कर में वो 500 रुपए करोगे या वो 15 रुपए आप दोगे प्लेटफॉर्म फी. So consumers will finally pay for that convenience. Thirdly, ad revenues will kick in. Fourthly, I think over a period of time, automation and revenue per dark store and जो हम retail में metrics करते थे, gross margin return over square feet, gross margin return, वो dark stores में वही metrics आ जाएंगे कि you would have to make dark stores more profitable, efficient, and so on. So you will have to squeeze. FMCG, lastly, it 80% of the sales is coming from FNG and FMCG. I think over a period of time, this will somewhere come to about 50, 55, 60% over the next 4 or 5 years. Higher margin categories will have to kind of come in, and tactical sales will improve, add on. So Blinkit, iPhone ke launch pe iPhone bech raha hai. Now these are high ticket values, sale last mile delivery hai. But so all these will together add to the revenue to make the quick commerce players profitable.
But you don't see competition, larger number of players actually preventing, everybody, I mean, like constraining the profitability of these companies, because there are 3 already there in a big way, and then 2 more, Amazon particularly.
So I think again, everybody in this typically FNG, FMCG are not very high margin businesses. So everybody would be constrained in a similar way. So it's not that somebody is coming with a 50% margin and I'm at 15% and he has more margins and more money and whatever else. I think thodi bahut as new players come in, some bit of discounting will happen, but typically it will not be very, very driven by long-term discounts.
See, on the margin or the FMCG profitability, let's take the various things. 5% may be the discounting, as Bakar and I at least agree that discounting is not heavy on quick commerce. 5% may be logistics. Take 10 easy, okay? 30 to 35% margin, which is let's say 45. Add another 15 to 20% of advertising. So you get around 60%. If your cost of goods is 30% or lower, you still have a little bit of a play. So on a unit basis, they are not losing money on quick commerce. I just want, for all D2C brands who are doing, let's say, 50 lakhs, crore, 2 crores a month on quick commerce, they're not losing money on a per unit basis. What the issue here is that the money they make on a per unit basis may not be able to sustain their social media advertising or their overheads in the head office. But they're not making unit losses.
Basically, all of the brands which are being sold in FMCG, carries 80% of the sales, whatever is right now going on. So all these D2C brand and direct brands or smaller brands are just contributing of 15 to 20%, which Bakar, I guess you will agree on that. And brands have been controlling their market share, how is to be sold and where is to be sold. Right now, even after 30 years, we are still, the general trade is saying selling somewhere around 85 to 90% of the stocks for all the FMCG companies. So the modern trade, all the formats which have came, EB2B, B2B, modern trade, CSDS are still at 10 to 12, struggling to 10 to 12%. So the FMCG companies will not be arm twisted by this, because they already have examples in European and American countries. So the brands will control the outlay of the brand, because the brand is owned by the company. So they will not let anybody else to control themselves for them.
I have one more thought on this. See, at the end, most brands will go where consumers are.
Yeah.
So profitable ho, nahi profitable ho, brands do not look at your, as of now, or they should not look at channel level profitability as far as they are selling and they are growing. Otherwise, what will happen? Two brands, let's assume, will go off. Some other brand will take their place and take their share, and then there will be FOMO. So brands also want to be where consumers are, and as far as consumers continue to be hooked on to convenience of the Q-commerce platforms, whatever is the cost, all brands will be there.
Right, two more questions.
Thank you.
Done with questions? Okay, I express my sincere gratitude to all three of you for the one last.
Yeah, just one question. Q-commerce is also talking about entering the regulator categories like pharmacy now. I mean, is there any scope of them entering into new categories like this?
We can't comment. No, regulated आपने खुद ही बोला. तो
but they
regulated
are-
अगर होगा तो फिर तो then it's a separate issue, no? So if the regulations change, like Bakar said earlier, that is a category which is most suitable for quick commerce kind of a thing. 5 मिनट के आपके BP की medicine आ गई.
सर आपने देखो नेटवर्क बना दिया. अब आपने दुकान खोली है तो जीरा भी बेचोगे, बिस्किट भी बेचोगे और जो भी बेच सकते हो बेचोगे. तो आपने यहाँ पे नेटवर्क तो सेट कर दिया. Your all cost is set. If players which are purely into pharma delivery today are starting to sell non-pharma products which are, so to say, between pharma and non-pharma, थोड़ा सा OTC के बाद भी जा रहे हैं सर, बहुत सारे products मिलने लगे, न जाने क्या क्या मिल रहा है नहीं. If they are being allowed to do so, यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा सा उस तरफ movement होगा. The moment the regulations open, they will also sell, because the platform, the network is set. वो आपके घर, dark store से आपके घर तक का उसने रास्ता तो मैप ही कर दिया, लोग भी हैं, रूट मैप भी है, सब कुछ है, वो हर चीज बेचेगा.
Last question. Yeah. Great. So on behalf of Elara Capital, I express my sincere gratitude to all three of you for being a part of this panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.